Hello, Spiritual Muse here. I'm here to talk to you today about crystal grids for stress and anxiety, which for me go hand in hand, and I think for a lot of people they do too. It's kind of like what comes first, the chicken or the egg, and what sometimes even is the difference between stress or anxiety. So we're going to talk about how we can build a crystal grid to help us relieve our anxiety and to feel more peaceful in our bodies and in our environment. So we're going to jump right in and I'm going to show you this grid. But before I do that, I want to tell you that crystal grids are a very personal thing. So even though I'm showing you crystals that I know are good for stress and anxiety, I want you to listen to your intuition and determine which ones are best for you and see where you feel crystals in your body and how they affect you and any levels of stress or anxiety you may have. So without further ado, here goes. So for a crystal grid, I like to use sometimes a little format for my crystal grid. So under here, we have a handmade crystal grid made by a friend of mine, Jamie. He goes by Biomorphics on Instagram. If you want to look him up, you can get these. They're very affordable and very beautiful. It's a flower of life that I'm using in this grid here. And we kind of start from either a center point or an outer point. On this one, I started on the outer points, and I started with selenite. So selenite is really good for cleansing your aura. So it's really good to kind of get rid of negative energies. They call it liquid light. So it has a lot of wonderful shimmer to it that just kind of like coats your aura and cleanses it just by holding it, looking at it, taking in that glow. I have also on the outside 2 small pieces of Himalayan salt, and Himalayan salt, as we all know, is really good for changing negative ions into positive. So that can help us to have a more positive energetic field around us as well. So that just kind of goes hand in hand, and we have them sort of on the top and the bottom. I just picked those intuitively at the end. Then we have lepidolite, which is my favorite stone for anxiety. Lepidolite contains lithium. And now you see, you just really want your crystal grid to make you happy. It's supposed to be in a shape that brings you joy, makes you feel better, eases your stress in general. So I kind of built it along with all the points in the grid and went along with it. It's easy to build a grid when you have a base like this, and that's why I recommend them if you're new to grid building especially. So lepidolite actually contains lithium, which is the active ingredient in some actual anti-anxiety, antipsychotic drugs. So lithium is super, super helpful for anxiety and stress. And anyone that has any will tell you that it's fantastic. I think it seems to work for everyone, whereas some crystals, it more so depends on who it is and their chemistry. But lithium, it is scientifically known to be helpful. So we have the lepidolite, which is the shiny purple one, selenite, and then we go in from there and we have, these are actually apophyllite points, which I will show you. And they're gorgeous. They're actually really great for scrying into. You can just get lost in there. They're really, really helpful for, again, cleansing the mind and getting away some of those cobwebs and that negativity. I mean, how can you not be happy when you're looking at this shiny, beautiful crystal here? So we have those, and we have a couple of those at all the points where it just looks nice, right? And then we have blue lace agate, which is a really great stone for anxiety and stress as well. It also relates to the throat chakra. Apophyllite can also help us to contact spirit guides and angels, which can be really helpful when we feel anxious, right? Knowing that we have people backing us up that are always looking out for us. How can we be anxious when we know that? And then I'm tricking you a little bit. In the middle, I have actually a clear quartz pyramid, but to the novice, it looks very similar to apophyllite, and it actually is just clear quartz. So it's definitely different. And it's good to have a stone like this in the middle, especially a pyramid, because it emanates that energy all around the grid. It points it out into all the directions, and pyramids can, just sort of help to make the energy flow in all directions. They're also a very spiritual shape, obviously. And clear quartz is the ultimate healer. So it's a great stone to have in the middle of any crystal grid because it just amplifies the energies of the other stones. So no matter what purpose you're doing a crystal grid, you can always add quartz and it's never going to be an issue. It's always going to flow really well with it and actually just intensify the energy of the other stones. And I just think this crystal grid looks fantastic, and that is in itself helpful for anxiety. Making a crystal grid is helpful for stress and anxiety because you put yourself onto a task. Not only that, but you're getting to hold these healing crystals while you do it, and you're doing it with intention of helping yourself. So I'm giving you here the power to heal yourself through crystal gridding, and it really is a wonderful practice. Now, the final thing you'll do when you set up a crystal grid, if you want to activate it, is what this is called. You'll take a quartz point, or this is kind of more of a quartz cluster, but we take it from the center and then we work it out in all directions, and we just connect it. We connect all the points and we flow that energy outward with the clear quartz. And you can always use clear quartz, as I said, as an activator, because it does help to activate and intensify the energy of all the stones. And you can kind of just go with it, flow with it, really pull that energy out, maybe pull it towards you, maybe pull it out this way into the environment, and then you can circle it around. You just really want to pick up that energy and make it start flowing. So you kind of just go all over like that. And again, it's very intuitive, but this is one of my favorite aspects of the ritual, is really activating it. And it can be a really great addition to your practice doing crystal grids. So I don't want to make this video too long, but I wanted to do a crystal grid video for you guys and explain to you how to do a simple crystal grid for stress and anxiety. And I hope you guys learned something. And if you ever need any of these crystals, obviously you can always contact me and I can help you out. And we can build you a grid too if you want. All right, guys, thank you so much for listening. Again, this was Spiritual Muse, and subscribe if you like this video, and let me know if you want anything else similar or something totally different. I'm always happy to take suggestions. Namaste.